For the most part, over the past decade, there has been a shift in what we perceive as entertainment. Listen, I can be accused of partaking in an occasional Kardashian episode here and there, and sidebar, but hashtag Kim Exposed Taylor Party, am I right? As a society, we have an issue with what we conceive as important.
The past decade has seen a shift from traditional scripted dramas to the dramas of real life.
We're torn between a political election between a pompous orange and a mysterious liar, a deceiving way of getting exercise, and, like I mentioned before, a no-talent mogul, and a hypocritical songstress.
But when there are real issues in the world, the celebrities and drama we all love overshadows the real issues. Sure, hashtagging Black Lives Matters may prove to some people that you support it online, but it doesn't do anything tangible for the cause in the long run.
At the same degree, celebrities that relay the same message are often hypocrites because they refuse to actually do anything for these causes other than type their sympathies online. In this horrendous time of countless acts of senseless violence, it just baffles me how so many people we've chosen to hold to the utmost importance fail us to actually do and strive for meaningful change.
In this summer and country alone, we've gone from Christina Grimmie and the pole shooting in Orlando, to Philando Castile, to Dallas, and now Baton Rouge. How on earth did we get here? I do it so often. I'm a sarcastic person by nature. I'm negative and demeaning sometimes. But heartbreaking tragedies like this aren't going to be solved by just action. It's through love. It's seemingly ignorant for me of all people to state, but what the world really needs right now is love. And the only way to prove that is not by demonizing and crucifying the bigots and haters. That only adds on to the issues and does the opposite of loving. I refuse to believe that we live in a world where the only way to get your point across is through nonsensical acts of violence. I think a lot of us, including myself, especially myself, have a predominant negative nature that overwhelms us sometimes. And sometimes it may even tell us to become accustomed to these horrible tragedies as the new normal. To reiterate something that RuPaul said earlier this summer, we can't let the darkest recesses of the human nature extinguish the light and hope and love we feel in our souls. Personally, I identify myself in many ways. I'm gay, I'm Catholic, I'm Hispanic, I'm a person of color, contrary to how it may be perceived right now. But most importantly, I'm a human being. These senseless acts of violence have impacted so many communities that I identify myself with or empathize for. Inherently, if you devalue or deny the validity of the Black Lives Matter movement, or even the Police Lives Matter movement, you are holding us back from solving this problem because you are doing the opposite of what you should be doing. You're lacking empathy, one of the biggest parts of loving each other and loving one another. I can hear a lot of people wanting to probably say something to me or denying whatever I'm saying as wrong. But that's adding to the issue. It's adding to the hatred amongst people. Black Lives Matter tries to advocate and promote the true statement that African Americans are some of the most oppressed people and prejudiced people when it comes to police violence. They are not a terrorist group. At the same token, while some cops may be prejudiced, biased, and corrupt, that doesn't mean all cops are prejudiced, biased, and corrupt. Cops are people like you and me too. Unless they're prejudiced, biased, and corrupt. To quote the amazing and eloquent Lin-Manuel Miranda, when senseless acts of tragedy remind us that nothing here is promised, not one day. We live in times where fear and hate seem stronger. We rise and fall, and light from dying. Embers, remembrances that hope and love last longer. And love is love, is love, is love, is love, is love, is love, is love. Cannot be killed or swept aside. Now fill the world with music, love, and pride. Everybody say love.